Okay, welcome to the Mortgage Game Podcast. West Coast Wiley in the house. We are coming live to you on video as well. I know a lot of you are listening to this audio through your podcast device. I sound so old when I say that. Okay, so I'm heading to MPC this week. Hopefully, I'll see you there. This will be launched. This will be going out by Friday, I think. So it should be Friday today. Hopefully, we'll see you. If you see me, come and say hi. Introduce yourself. We can have a chat. Okay, let's go and do these things. I just came back from Toronto. Was there in Burlington doing a launch party. Here's my take on prospecting on networking. And then we'll get into what we're going to talk about today, which is crucial stuff for you. It's 5 massive mistakes I see mortgage brokers make over and over again. And I see it and I just want to shake them and go, God, what are you doing? What are you doing? But then I calm myself and I collect my thoughts. Networking. So I've been to a thing and I'm going to another thing. And so, and I get it. People are out there saying, go network, you build your circle. You're only as, rich as the people you hang out with and successful and blah, blah, blah. My take on it is this. The 30-minute coffee meetings here and there. I'm going to do some because I'm going to Montreal and I'm not going to go watch all the speakers. That's not highest and best use of my time. So in that instance, meeting people and connecting with them one-on-one and seeing if there's some way I can help them from the team or a service I offer, the coaching, the VIP club, whatever that is, sure, highest and best use of time. But if I'm sitting at home and someone wants to jump on a 30-minute call with me or they want to go to a coffee, that is absolutely not highest and best use of my time. And that's considered networking. Out there and shaking hands and kissing babies and shooting the shit and staying high level on a bunch of stuff. Not my jam. I'm of the mindset of go and create value and people will find you. So I am better served instead of 30 minutes going to meet someone for coffee. As an example, I'm better served making 2 reels, posting across 5 platforms, giving out some sort of gold nugget and value to my audience that will live forever on my social platforms and that hopefully can change someone's day. Versus me going out and doing one thing with one person. I get 0 leverage out of that. Just my perspective, okay? We all have different perspectives. So let's get into it. So this week, 5 things. I'm going to give you 2 bonus ones after that. But I've been coaching for years now, years. And even when I wasn't coaching and I was running my mortgage business, people would come up all the time and ask, hey, Ryan, how do you do X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, well, first, have you done this? Have you done that? Right. And I'm like, really? They're like, no, but I've done all these other things. I'm like, but you haven't done those, like the basic stuff? I'm like, come on, man. That's what we need to focus on. So I've got things here because this is all very fresh, top of mind stuff I'm talking about. And I'll explain why it's fresh in mind me after. Let's get into it. A lot of you have heard me talk about all these things, but what I'm going to share with you is the 5 things you need to build a boring mortgage business, a business that spits out money and you wake up and you're just pulling strings and you're just like, and you're doing that type of stuff, but you're making $500,000 working 20, 30 hours a week. That's what it is. That's what I'm going to share with you. And it all turns out to be the 5 mistakes most people are making. And then I've got 2 bonus ones as well. Okay, so number 1, email marketing. I was talking to a top producer, good producing agent last week, $40 million producer. How many times do you email your database? Once a month, man. I'm like, that's it. How many are on there? 650, all deals I've closed. Cool. What about the other people? What about all the other email addresses you've got? No, I only put people I've closed deals with. Interesting. And you're only emailing them once a month. Interesting. It's like, I don't want to overwhelm them. I'm like, oh my God, you were missing out on so many opportunities. And you're putting so much pressure on that one email you're sending. It's crazy. Instead, you should be warming up your audience consistently with value so that when you have an ask, you can put the ask out there and then they're going to jump on the ask. If there is a prime -1 deal that comes out, and I don't advertise rates really. When I was brokering, I very rarely did, but once or twice a year, I'd hit my email list with that because I'd warm them up so much. And so then I would reach out and go, hey, I have a special. It's around for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. This is what it is. Click below if you want to see if you qualify for that rate. And then my calendar would fill up. But if that's the only thing I shoot out once a month, sometimes whenever, and people haven't heard from me and they kind of forget who I am, what use does that do? And so email marketing. The more you email your list, the warmer it gets. Are people going to drop off? Because I had someone today say, hey, but I had one lady say she wants less frequent emails from you. That's 1 out of 600 in that example. Like, move on, carry on. You have an email list of 500 people and you're emailing it weekly. You are setting yourself up to make so much money and impact so many lives. You don't even know it. You're leaving so much money on the table by not upping your email game. I have spent 10 plus years marketing to a database. I am speaking from experience. This works. There are very other areas in your business where you can get that much leverage. I send an email, which takes me 15 minutes to record a video. And then I have some lines below it. A lot of you are on my three things I learned this week. That same concept, but for brokers. And then it has a call to action to book a call on the calendar. I don't give that because that'd be crazy town. But it has a link to whatever else you're doing. Do you have a podcast? Do you have episodes you've done? Do you have a landing, or do you have a lead magnet you want to offer up? Do you have a webinar you've recorded? Do you have a live webinar? Whatever, that goes below with also your Google reviews. That's simple. And then every week you're just swapping out the video, changing a couple lines of text, and you're firing it off. And then you're weaving in your value adds, and you're just public service announcements. You're just showing how you've helped clients. You're showing how you've helped mistakes other clients made and how you helped them, or even mistakes you made and what you learned from it. So there's so many angles to that, but it's 15 minutes of your time to get leverage with how many people that open that. And your open rates, your deliverability rates on that, the more consistent you are, your deliverability rates will go up and your open rates will go up. I know this because with the VIP Club, which is a database marketing company I own, we send close to 4 million emails a year on behalf of mortgage brokers. We understand the people with the higher delivery rates and higher open rates because they are also sending other things. There you go. That's number one. Massive, massive, massive mistake. If you are emailing your clients, I'm going to say this to them, blue in the face. And this is like, because, and this is the part I wish I could get across to people, which I can't. If you know what I know in my brain and you can see what I see, so many of you are so close to gold and you have no clue. But that's why I'm here to help. But I'm going to keep beating that drum. And I have been for years. I'm going to. Never going to stop. Highest and best use of your time. You get really, really good leverage. Okay, so email marketing. Number two, massive mistake I see people make is I ask this question to a lot of people. Hey, if you need to go get 5 applications as fast as humanly possible because someone you care about needs an operation you need to pay for and you don't have the money, what would you do? The answers are 90% of the time pretty much the same. What do you think they are? They are, I'd call my database. Okay. Call your database. Oh, that's a crazy idea. I'd call, I'd text, I'd email, I'd DM. I would just reach out to all the people I know, my circle of influence. I'd be like, hey, do you know anyone? Hey, do you know anyone? Blah, 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 blah. Get applications in. Right? I don't even have to, do I have to even say anything else than that? But not having good prospecting habits, those daily non-negotiables. And a lot of times we set ourselves up for failure. We don't set ourselves up for success because we put these crazy expectations on. I'm going to reach out to 30 people today. I'm going to reach out to 20 people. I'm going to call 20 a day. I promise. God's honor. Scout's honor, sorry. Swear to God, going to do it. And then you get into it and you're like, oh my God, I just got off 3 back-to-back phone calls and I learned about their cats and their trip to Mexico and I got no work done. I've talked to 3 people in 1 hour. And so you get a little jaded and then you don't carry on and you drop off. Well, yeah, calling 20 people a day is nuts. That's a lot of work. It's crazy. If you could stick through that, you would do phenomenal. But a lot of people, A, aren't good at it. B, it's really their comfort zone. They don't want to do it. So I always say there's, running a successful mortgage business, it's hard. So is being poor. So choose which hard you want, right? It's crazy. I'm looking at you. You're listening to this, but I'm looking at the camera right now. You'll see this on YouTube at some point, but I'm looking here going, come on, man, I want to shake you sometimes. This is where you can tell I get jacked up around this stuff, but bad prospecting habits. And so I can only take the people I coach, which have been hundreds of mortgage brokers, and I go through and we audit. A lot of times I'm auditing their business and we're going through and sometimes I have clients or 9 clients, people on my team now, and they're doing 20 million a year, and which is probably 40, 50 deals a year. And we're mapping out the time. And then I'm kind of like, what are you doing all day? That's where I come back to. I'm like, honestly, you want to grow, and you need to reach out and start conversations. There's only 3 ways to get clients in this world. In the simplest form, there's only 3 ways. One is you get paid ads, which will bring people in, which nobody's going to do. So take it off the table. The other 2 are content. You create content. It gets you out there in front of people who probably didn't know you, and other people, it's reminding them about you. And then the other one is one-on-one conversations. That could be with end consumers. It could be center of influence, referral partners, realtors, whatever. But every referral partner starts with a one-on-one conversation. So if you ever sit there and you're like, I don't know what to do today, got nothing going on, I need leads, one-on-one conversations or create content. Go do that. And so I talk to people and they're doing 3-4 deals a month. And then I'm like, so I've done the math. I know it's 6 hours a file from lead to compliance and all the other crap you're doing. I'm like, so we've got another 25 hours a week. What are we doing? Oh yeah, I did my hour of prospecting. Cool. And what'd you do for the other 4 hours of the day that I know you had nothing going on? Right? It's just, these are questions you need to ask yourself. And it's kind of like look in the mirror type stuff. And there's an edge to me on this, on all the stuff I'm talking about right now. It's because I can see the path. I can see the path for all of you. All of you have different paths, different journeys you're going on. Some of you are up there, and out of these 5, 6, 7 things I'm going to talk about, you're nailing 3 or 4 or 5 of them. But you're missing one piece that could potentially pull you out from 50 hours a week down to 30 hours a week. Okay, so stay with it. I'm not going to go super deep on all these because I have a couple. So prospecting habits. Lack thereof, daily non-negotiables. And when I say non-negotiables, I'm talking about discipline. I talked about this in another reel I did. And it was, I'll take discipline over motivation all day long. Motivation goes like this, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Discipline, just steady Eddie. Nothing too great, nothing too bad. I'm going to keep plugging away. Don't care what the outcome is. I know it's going to work. I'm just going to keep doing this. A lot of you are going like this, and you're looking on social media for the next thing to motivate you, the next inspirational quote, the next person to tell you, I got 3 tips to get you to this and that and that. It's like, no. Cut out the freaking noise, sit in your office, lock the door, tell people you're busy, turn your phone on Do Not Disturb, and knock out your daily non-negotiables, whatever they are. Okay? Number 3. Big mistake, massive mistake. Like I said, these are 5 pieces of the puzzle that I've been building the solutions to. 5 pieces of the puzzle to build a boring mortgage business. That'll just print money. It's going to take a while to get it going. But once it gets going, you know. I live this world, right? I'm not a coach that's out there or a mentor that's out there going, oh, I think this will work. I'm like, I freaking did all this and crushed it. And now I'm coming on here and telling you about it, right? I'm not guessing if I've done it, if it's going to work. It works. And I know other mortgage brokers that are doing it, and they've literally just copied what I did because I told them to go copy what I did. Don't reinvent the wheel. Every problem you have in your mortgage business has already been solved by someone. Don't try and solve it. Don't get cute and fancy. That doesn't put money in the bank account. Makes you feel like you're creative and you're doing them. Don't. Get boring. Boring. Okay? So number 3, database mining. Talk to an agent this week. You have a database? I do. Where is it? It's kind of in the submission platform. That's it. Okay, not worse. That's not horrible. It's in there. You can export it out. But have you went through and looked? If you're at a prime minus 80 uninsured deal, are you looking for people that are prime minus 10, 20, 30, 40 potentially getting there? There's rate arbitrage there. Fixed rate, interest rate, or IRD penalties. They're triggering out a lot of lenders right now at 3-month interest penalty. So are you reaching out to the people who are in the mid 5s, high 5s, low 6s and going, I have an opportunity, go get your IRD. Like, this is database mining with a sniper rifle. And then you present the opportunity to the client. Sniper rifle, not a massive email going, interest rates are low, blah, blah, blah. Reach out to me if you want. No. It's you sitting there line by line. I remember going through my database and it was literally line by line. And it would take me 2 to 5 minutes on each line to figure out if there's an opportunity. There's no better time I could spend in my business. I would lock myself in there. And then by the end of the day, I would tell my wife, I'm going to the office, I'm locking myself in. It's time to go make money. She's like, hey, the pipeline's drying up. I'm like, I got you, babe. I got it. In the office, I'll see you at dinner, maybe. And I lock myself in. And all of a sudden, I've sent out 10, 12, 15, 20 emails presenting opportunities to people, back and forth, book calls, application, get the deal done, 30, 45 days, money in my bank account. That's how you do it. Database mining. But you have to have the database and you have to understand what you're looking for. If you don't know what you're looking for, you need to go learn. That's a skill set you need to have. You can't just go, hey, what do I do? Go and figure it out. Do some research. Talk to people you know who are doing this. Find out what they're doing. Ask a bunch of questions. It's well worth doing. And here's the thing. We tell our clients we're going to be there. We tell our clients to work with us because we add value long term. We tell our clients to be clients for life and we got your back and blah, blah, blah. But then we get the deal, we get our commission, and then we peace out. When in all reality, there are potentially opportunities with most clients within the 5-year term to go back and present a scenario to them where they'll save money or at least break even, but be able to access equity they didn't think they'd be able to access right now. Don't make up the story on your client's behalf. Go and present the evidence to the clients and let them determine and build a story around it. Just saying, database mining. Fourth biggest mistake I see mortgage brokers making is not having a client journey. Some of you deal with A clients, B clients, private clients, which is cool. You know, you do you, as they say. That's fine. Not my jam, but I get it. Just keep in mind, you've got clients going on 3 different journeys because the way lenders interact with you, they interact 3 different ways. Some of them quote up front, some of them want docs, some you submit the app. Like it's this chaos. And so you're managing expectations from 3 different avatars of clients with expectations of how lenders from 3 different categories of lenders want the deals to come in. It's chaos. And then you've got the client journey your client goes on. What emails do they get? When do they get? What scripts do they get? Is the lawyer introduced? The appraisal ordered? Are you doing closing gifts? What are you doing closing day? How do you hold their hand on a strategy call? What do you do on your discovery call? How do you ask for documents? How do you ask for the application? How do you go back and forth at fulfillment where you're trying to satisfy all the conditions? How do you upload to the portal? There's a lot of stuff. I get it. But you need a client journey. This needs to be mapped out, right? It could just be dry. It doesn't have to be a fancy diagram and all that. It could just be the steps and what happens, but you need this done. And those who don't have that done, a lot of holes are in the boat. And when you start getting a little busier, stuff's going to fall through the cracks. So you need to map out your client journey. And I think you need a pre-approval and an approval process. You need 2 different journeys. That's my take. And I think you should weave recorded videos and custom videos inside the journey. There you go. That's number 4. Number 5, you're not getting as many deals as you could from your referral partners. Been talking about this a lot lately. You've got your VIP realtors, the ones that they put you on a pedestal and they'll never not use you. Or so you think. And then you've got the stragglers, the one that send in once in a while. And sometimes they just send you a bunch of shit. And other times they send you good stuff and not so good. And sometimes you don't hear from them for 7 months. And all of a sudden they need you like they're like drowning in the ocean. They're like, call me back. You're like, dude, I haven't heard from you like 6 months. Okay. And then you've got people who don't even know you. So you need some sort of all referral relationships from your center of influence to realtors, to FAs, to accountants, to whoever else. It's all built around relationships. Relationships. A lot of you are just moving on to the next thing. You forget about the person you brought to the dance. You need to dance with the person you brought to the dance. You need to take care of them. You need to make sure you're connecting with them. You're breaking bread with them. You're sitting at whatever they like doing. You need to be doing that. You need to stay in front of them. We have a bunch of things we've implemented in a lot of the coaching that has now brought a lot of people closer together. And half the battle is just recognizing the moment and thinking, I need to reach out to Tom, the realtor, because I haven't talked to him. Pick the phone up, call Tom. Hey, Tom, how's it going? You want to go for a drink? Do you want to go for lunch? My treat. I'll drive to where you are. What's going on in your world? Is there a way I can help you? That's like basic 101 stuff. There's a bunch of other cool things you can be doing. but there's deals out there in your referral circle. Before you go chasing the cold stuff, the people who don't know you, the consumers who don't have a clue who you are, or the referral partners who definitely don't have a clue who you are, think about all the warm people all around you. You can look around, feel, touch them. If you can write them down, whiteboard it out, without a doubt, you'll build a nice list. And then it's like, what do I do with that now? Well, I told you before, there's only two ways to get clients: one-on-one conversations or content. So in that instance, when you're building relationships, go and reach out. However you reach out, text, call, in person, DM, open them with a video, with voice memo on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, whatever. But the amount of deals that are falling through your fingers because you've taken your foot off the gas on the relationships and you've just assumed that you're the guy or you're the girl. And you're like, they don't need me, or they're not that busy. I hear that excuse a lot. They're not that busy. If they're doing 10, 12, 20 ends a year, and you can do 3, 4, 5 of them, that's 10, 15, 20 grand with those realtors that, quote unquote, aren't doing any business, right? Go get that. So that's a massive mistake. So those are the 5 big mistakes I see. Lack of email marketing. Saying email marketing doesn't work, it's dead. No one opens emails anymore. No one likes getting emails. I've heard it all. Prospecting habits, those daily non-negotiables, just not having that dialed in, even though we know there's only 2 ways to get clients. And then I'm like, what are you doing with your time all day? Not sure. Database mining, not tracking the database. And then even if you have a database, not actually spending the time going line by line trying to find an opportunity because you don't know what opportunities to look for. Well, that's a skill you need to figure out. Much like if you're not comfortable on camera, you need to, and you know that your business is better off with you on camera on social media, that's a skill. Speaking on camera and storytelling is a skill. You need to up your game in that skill. At least you've identified it. Now you can go solve it. If you don't solve it, it's just you being lazy. Number 4 was client journey. Having clients go on different journeys all over the place. Stuff's going to fall through the cracks when you get busy. And then number 5, not getting as much business as you can from your current referral network. Those are the 5 big mistakes. And there's 2 bonus ones I see. Number 1, social media, or lack thereof, or telling us the story, I don't want to do social because I don't like it. And someone told me this years ago, which is why I've been on social media for about 18, 19 months now. And I can't see my business without it. I honestly don't understand how you can run a business without it. It helps so much. By the time you get on calls, people have already watched videos and they already think they know you better than they do. It builds trust without you lifting a finger outside of your initial video, and just showcases like a website of where you're at and what you're doing and all these things. But get over yourself. It's where your clients are. Your clients are on social media. If you're going to argue me on that, I don't know, you're pushing a rock up a hill. I'm not giving in on that. That's a bonus mistake I see people make, is just not be consistent enough. There's only 2 things you need: be consistent and be authentic. That's it. Don't try and make the perfect video. Don't try and figure it all out in 1 week. Don't try. Remember, this is a year on top of year on top of year on top of year thing. It's not a 3 weeks, 3 months, not working. On to the next thing, Ryan. I'm going to go do SEO on my website. Okay, good luck with that. Enjoy that. Social media. The next one, last bonus one, and some of you are there and some of you aren't, but everyone eventually needs to get there, is not having fulfillment. Oh my goodness. If you're doing 1 or 2 deals a month, you need fulfillment. And you're like, Ryan, but I can do it all. I've heard it all. I've heard all the excuses. I can do it all. Cool. Should you be doing it all? Like, don't you want to make money? Money is in sales, calls, seeing people, talking to people, creating content. If you're looking at down payment documents and ordering appraisals and arguing with underwriters on, what November pay stub you need, like that's not where you need to be. So go and find someone. All the people I know who run very well-run, successful businesses, the majority of them have fulfillment as a minimum. Someone handling from commitment to compliance. It's a non-negotiable. Find someone where you're not paying per hour, you're not paying salary, you're paying per file, and pay them a percentage, ideally if you can, a percentage of the file. For a kick-ass fulfillment person, pay them 10 points, and I would cap it at 500, 600. If you're in a big province with big mortgage amounts, you don't want to pay fulfillment $1,000 on a file, so I'd cap it, right? I'd go a minimum and a maximum. And if you're every file, you're going to fall in there somewhere. So if they're doing a HELOC for you and that's it, and you're going to walk with $800, they're not making 80, right? It's got to be a minimum and maximum. But fulfillments, it's the seventh mistake I see brokers make. There's a lot of other mistakes. These are just 7 crucial ones. And so why did I pick out these 7? Because I've created a program exclusive to my team around this. It's about how to build a boring mortgage business. And the program, it's a mentorship program. And we go deep onto each of these. And we do it custom to you and your business and where you're at after we audit your business and look at it. And I go, hey, here's where you're deficient. Here's where you're not going to the park. Let's clear your desk and get rid of all the other crap you're doing. And let's go build the pillars in these 5 departments. And then let's layer on some social and let's look at fulfillment. So there you go. So that gives you a backstory. But anyways, regardless, those are mistakes that everyone's making. I'm seeing it. I'm just going to keep, I'm like the news. Not fake news, but I'm the news. I'm just reporting back what I'm seeing. And it's consistent. It's over and over again. And people always come to me and they're like, Ryan, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What are we doing? And I'm like, there's no more things. I have things I'm just going to keep showing as all of our training evolves. But to run a 50, 60, $80 million mortgage business with one person helping fulfillment and you work 30, 40 hours a week, you only need to focus on those 5 main areas and then add in fulfillment and social media. It's like the sweetener and the coffee and all that stuff. But that's what you need. And just keep doing that. And then guess what happens? I had a broker tell me this not too long ago. He said, Ryan, I've copied your model. Things are going great. I'm doing about 40 million, maybe 45, somewhere in there. He's like, I'm bored. He goes, I'm bored. He goes, you said I would be. And I'm bored now. And I'm like, yeah. How many hours you work? He's like, I'm pretty much done by 2 every day. He's like, but I'm bored. I'm like, so I'm thinking of taking on team. I'm thinking of doing some training. I'm like, what are you doing? Let's just go squeeze out a little more. Let's get you to 60 million, 65. Let's pull back your hours a little bit. Let's have you live a very boring mortgage life. And let's have you have the money to go live an exciting life and be more present for all the loved ones around you. He's like, ooh, yeah, let's do that. I'm not doing a team anymore, he says. I'm like, yeah, I don't do that. Only crazy people do that. Wink, wink. Okay, that's it, kids. Anyways, much love. Thank you for listening. Maybe we'll see you in Montreal. Otherwise, come up and say hi. That's it, kids. Peace out. Enjoy your weekend.